Hi, I'm going to be making pizza from scratch tonight, and this is how we do it. Okay, to start off with, I have bought a pizza stone, and it's the only way that you're going to cook pizza in a regular electric oven and get it to be crispy. I purchased one of those, and I've turned my oven up to ludicrous temperature, which is off the scale. I'll show you now. Turned it all the way to the right. Doesn't even have any numbers on it. Inside the oven is my pizza stone that I picked up for 19 bucks. And I've also got a temperature thermometer for the oven just to let me know how hot it is. And I let that preheat for about an hour. And the thermometer at that point lets me know that the temperature in the oven is way past 600 degrees. I think commercial pizzeria ovens get up to 1,000 or even higher, but 600, 650 has been just fine. So now I am going to make the dough because it takes an hour for that to rise properly. And I'm going to use my cheat sheet. Nothing wrong with that. No crime in using a cheat sheet. I'm going to get out my mixing bowl. And it says 1.5 cups of warm water. The water from my sink gets really hot, so I just let it run. When it starts to steam, I know that's the hot water I want to use. Alright, that's pretty hot. That's 1.5 cups of warm water. And 1 package of Fleischmann's Active Dry Yeast. It's a 1/4 ounce or 7 grams. And I am told to sprinkle this in the warm water. And it should dissolve. I found you got to stir it a little bit. But I'm told to leave that in there for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then it hasn't dissolved, stir it. That's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, I'm going to get all my ingredients ready. I'm going to need some olive oil. I'm going to need some bread flour, which is different than all-purpose flour. I'm going to need some salt. And then I'm going to need some sugar. That's what I'm going to need for my dough. I got sugar. I got some table salt. Get my cup nice and dry. So I can use it with my flour. There's a little bit of the yeast sticking to the side above the water line. So I'm going to mix it up a little. Get it off the sides. That's nice and thick. Kind of looks like miso soup. Like brown miso soup. Okay. Get some measuring spoons. I'm gonna need those. All right, so it calls for 3½ cups of bread flour. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's one. That's two. That's 3½ Calls for 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'll leave that out for later. I'm going to need it. 3 teaspoons of salt. And 1 teaspoon of sugar. Some people would have you believe you got to prep flour and the yeast separate. I do not. Some people would have you believe that you got to use a mixer. I do not. I use my hands. And this gets really sticky. If there's any flour that's left on the side of the upper part of the bowl, I try to get that as well. Pretty much just knead this dough for a good little while. So it gets way sticky. So I'm guessing 2 to 3 minutes. Some people would have you use big bowls, big industrial type of kneaders. I find that completely unnecessary. So far, okay. So I'll bring the bowl with the dough over to show you what it kind of looks like. Now it doesn't look like the dough that you see in the pizzeria, and it's way sticky, what we call wet dough. So I'm going to peel this away from my hands, get as much as that good dough back in the bowl. And there's going to be a lot left on my hands. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's try to get the most I can back in the bowl. And that's pizza dough. We're going to do a couple more steps later. But as far as it goes, there you go. It's not smooth, it's not pretty. Now, I don't know if this has any, I'm gonna wash my hands. I don't know if this has any bearing But I leave it on top of the stove, my plastic bowl. I'm going to cover it with a piece of paper towel. I'm going to let that sit and rise for about 40 minutes. Put the ingredients, the flour away. Now I'm going to make cold sauce. Last time I tried to make hot sauce, or sauce that was hot and then cooled down for the pizza, and that didn't turn out all that well. So this time I'm going to make cold sauce. See how that turns out. I'm also going to use a much better brand of tomatoes. I'm told San Marzano from Italy is the stuff to use. But we're going to find out. Now I'm going to get my cheat sheet on the sauce, and I'll be back.